Okay guys, here we are on the roads leading to Ballarat. Very windy, nothing much to see on both sides, mountains all over the place, and pretty hot. But let me emphasize windy roads, definitely. I think speed limits out here are in the 50-55 range. This is pretty much all you see for a long time. These plaques here you're going to see are on the outside just before you turn right into Ballarat. You can freeze the frame and read them at your leisure. It basically tells that it was a mining area, etc., etc. This is the road that goes into Ballarat. It's way down there in the distance. It's not too bad, it's bumpy, but it's, a car can do it. This is the town of Ballarat. The building in the middle there is like a trading post or something. Nobody was there today and it was locked up. This here, it says it was the old jail. Some vehicles are out there. You'll see some RVs in the back. When we went last 2 years ago, this building was open. You could go in there and there was a room there that they looked like they sold t-shirts, but it was closed off and locked. Nobody was around. So then when you leave Ballarat, you go down this long gravel road. You just follow this down. I had it marked last time from using Gaia maps to where to turn. I would do your research before you go out there. Just use Gaia or even Google Maps, and you can see where you make the turn to go into the canyon that you'll see ahead of us here. This area right in here is where we came across that Volkswagen Bug in our video 2 years ago. The guy hit a rock on his oil pan, and it was somewhere in this area. It was disabled, had a note on windshield. He was able to hike out. He was an outdoorsman type guy. I think, if I remember correctly, he said it took him 2 days to walk out of there in the heat, and then he hitched a ride to his town. This here is the mouth of the canyon. I've watched other YouTube videos. I didn't realize till I was actually here 2 years ago and now how narrow it gets. It gets pretty tiny. A friend of mine thought he was going to do this in a Ford F-350 dually, and I don't know. I don't think so. Especially when you get into the brush. I pinstriped my Toyota 4Runner pretty good. But it's pretty cool being in this canyon. Like I said, from the outside, you have no idea how tight it gets. It gets pretty narrow. Some spots are definitely single car only. And here we got some wildlife, some donkeys. As a matter of fact, I'd like to dedicate this video to my Aunt Kathy, who is watching somewhere in the Williamson, Georgia area. She loves donkeys. She had a couple herself until recently. And so I'm going to dedicate this video to Aunt Kathy for the videos and the wildlife, not the Charles Manson connection. Many people ask how the hell Charles Manson got a bus back in here. Now in '69, who knows the condition of the road? Also, there is another way that you can come in from the other end, which from what I'm told now is much more rugged than this route. So I haven't seen anything online to tell me which direction he came in, but he did have a school bus back there, a small one. Wherever you see greenery, obviously there's water. You'll see some occasionally in the road running down. There are springs out here. Pretty hot. I think it was like 104, 105 on our way out, on our way in, and on the way out, I think we hit 111 on the way out. So it's pretty hot. Very quiet, peaceful out here, that's for sure. I mean, you won't hear a sound. If there's no wind blowing, you won't hear a sound. This is roughly from the road, 2 hours in to the Barker Ranch and 2 hours out. You're not really going fast. You got rocks, stones, gravel, wildlife, all sorts of stuff. So you're taking your time, but it's easily 2 hours in, 2 hours out. Make sure you got gas, water supplies, all that stuff. Now this brush is what was pinstriping my car. Unfortunately, I know for the future, light color cars, dark blue is not the color for this stuff. It left some. I think some of them will come out with a good buffing and some maybe a wax or compound. And I also got some from the last time that haven't come out. It gets a little tight back in here. I almost thought about bringing the electric hedge trimmers and trimming them back a little bit, but I realized that would be a big process. Here we have another donkey running around, or burro, as some people might want to call them. We ran into a bunch of them. It's funny, like I'm not pressuring the thing at all. If it would just go off to the left, I'd be on my way. But they kept coming back to the road and running in front of me, and so we just ride them along here. Just keep coming back to the road. Eventually they stay off to the side and let us just pass. I'm giving them all the room I can give them. I mean, I'm probably only doing 5-10 miles an hour here, if that. You see that water pipe there laying. You see that in a couple spots going out there. It's all broken and disconnected and not connected to anything. Here's a sign there. That sign on the right says Barker Ranch to the left. And if you go, right. If you go straight there, I think that takes you to the Newman cabin. I didn't use the dash cam for that, unfortunately. I'll put some stills in, because we did go to it this time. Last time I missed the Newman cabin. I drove right past it. Here we're at the Barker Ranch, obviously. You guys have seen this probably many times, not only my video and others. Nothing's changed, but the only thing we saw changed was the picnic table had been moved from where it used to be. We did go in this building here and checked our signatures, and we did sign the book again. There's my friend Robert, top of the hill. He was looking for the alleged chair that's supposed to be at the top of a mountain. There's supposed to be a chair, like a lookout. He looked all around the place, he couldn't find it. This is, I guess, like a cistern type thing that gathers water, and then it's plumbed to come down to the cabin. Obviously seen better days. Here we are inside. Robert signing the book. Put it back in the bag. Here we are by the entrance of Barker Ranch. I think at one time it actually said Barker Ranch hanging from there, but it didn't last time we were there. This will probably be the last trip for us. The only reason we came back is my friend Robert tried to go last year, and the floods that Death Valley had, he couldn't get to it. This is the junkyard, the Charles Mansion junkyard, they say. It probably was, maybe it wasn't, I don't know. There's a bunch of old Jeeps, car parts, cans, water heaters, and there's actually some modern grills out there that somebody's dumped out there recently. So now I think it's everybody's junkyard. Although I have to say it's quite a task to get all the way out there just to junk a grill. Some bullet casings, so people are obviously shooting at the cars and the cans and I guess anything else in this pile. Found some 22, some 45, and some 223 casings. Didn't see any wildlife. We did see a rabbit, a really big-eared rabbit. There's our truck in the background over there. We made an effort to continue on, but the obstacle right around the bend up there was pretty difficult. So we aborted and headed out. These are the bushes that will scratch your car. No two ways about it, they will pinstripe your car. So if my friend was thinking of Ford F-350 dually, yeah, pinstriping would be all over the place. More donkeys. They pop it out at anywhere. You never know, you're riding along, so then they dart out at you. Just sit there and stare at you for a couple of minutes sometimes. Yeah, as you can imagine, it's a pinstripe haven right there. Now up here, I believe the name of it is the Keystone mine, I think it is. It's off to the side, up a hill. There's a couple of buildings. The last time I was here, I was in the building and I heard something rustling around in the rafters. Dead ahead, that used to be standing. I think it was like a shower. It's collapsed and fell over. 2 years ago, it was standing upright. And it was the sidewalk there walked in between the house and the showers. And now the whole thing's fallen down. Everything else appeared to be the same. Robin loves her selfies. In the distance up there, there's a couple of donkeys. There they are. And now we're on our way out. Long way in, long way out. The part in a canyon you don't mind because it's kind of cool, but the open area seems like it takes forever, and it's a bumpy road with a lot of washboard. I found going slow not so great. If you do between 30 and 40, you can kind of get over the washboard roads a little bit better. And it does smooth them out a little bit. I could have optioned to let the air in the tires down, but it was so hot out I didn't feel like filling them back up, so we just roughed it out. Had to wait for our little barricade to move. It's not the first baby donkey we saw on the way out. You'll see some mining stuff occasionally on the left and the right. You might see some parts. There was one spot where there's an old junk pickup off to the right. Some more of that plumbing pipe. You'll see some water in the road here. It's obviously leaking down from some spring, and it was in certain areas it was leaving a trail on the road. Some of these rocks, you look at them, you're just waiting for them to give way and wind up right in your lap. See the water in the road or the trail. You know you're going the right way when you see all the donkey poop. Worthwhile trip. Just it's probably my last time. Now that we took Robert there to see it, we've seen it twice. Probably won't be back. Some of these turns are pretty sharp. I have the benefit of using the dash cam. Again, if you watch my videos, you notice you can use those coordinates, type them into Google Maps, and it'll put you right on the map where the video was taken. Here we're coming out, and we had a surprise in the road. It was a mountain goat or a ram, whatever the proper term is, I'm not sure, but right there in the middle of the trail. Last time we saw a couple up on the rocks, but this one was right down in the trail. Got some pretty good shots of them. I'll give you some still photos here. We tried to zoom in. He eventually went up the rocks right alongside, like he was walking on a sidewalk, just climbed up those rocks like it was nothing. And then we continued on, and we're just about out of the canyon. This was a little bit of a sketchy part there, going down. The camera's not really showing the hill, but no troubles. Our vehicle's a 2021 Toyota 4Runner TRD Off-Road Premium. It has the 3.2 spacer lift kit put in it. It's 3 in the front, 2 in the back, so it acts as a leveling kit as well. And I got BFG all-terrain tires on there, the KO2s. That's pretty much it. I got some rock sliders I put on, and some off-road lights. But I did all this 2 years ago when I first got the truck brand new. It was stock, other than the tires. So you can do this easily with a stock vehicle. We noticed that rock right there dead ahead. It looks like that gives away. All that stuff is going to come down, and it looks like it's just in this precarious situation where it could come down someday. As long as it comes down after we're gone. There was a poster at the opening of the canyon of a guy that went missing back here. they found his truck. I looked up his name, I Google searched it afterwards, and to my knowledge, he's still missing. It was in 2022 he went missing. There's the banner on the left there. I'll put a still in here for it. And this is the road out. Dusty, bumpy, washboards. Just more of the same. This leads all the way back to Ballarat. You make a left and you go out to the road. Not much to see out here. We didn't see really any wildlife from here to Ballarat and out. There is some other, I don't know if they're mines or what they are. There's some operational stuff that's still going on. On the way out, they're on the right. On the way in, they're on the left. There's some trails or dirt roads that lead up to them. Certainly looks like there's been activity up there. There's buildings. I don't know what they're there for. It's funny when you're back here on this road, there's a mountain range between you and the street, so you can't even see the street. You have to go down by Ballarat, so you're on the other side of the mountain range so you can see and get by the street. So when you actually go in the canyon, you're behind a mountain range that can't be seen by the road. Here you'll see our dashboard, 111 degrees. Hey guys, I wanted to add this in here. I found some stills we took at the Newman cabin earlier on the trail on the way in. The first time I was there a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I missed it. So we found it this time. This time the door is hanging off. I've seen other videos with the door was on it, but this is the Newman cabin. Table in there, chairs. Nothing too special, but a neat little stop. Okay guys, this is the flyer that's at the mouth of the canyon. Again, I Googled the gentleman's name and it seemed like he was still missing. If you have any info on that, put it in the comments. Thanks. It is no joke going back there. It's 2 hours in, 2 hours out. It's hot. Bring supplies with you, and they don't recommend you going in the summer months. Okay guys, that concludes our second trip to the Barker Ranch in Death Valley. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned. More adventures to come.